What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. I remember telling you guys before about a bench press program that I did when I was like, I had to be about 18 or 19 years old now. And I increased my bench really quickly on it. And it came from Optimum Training Systems, who made Big Beyond Belief Serious Growth 3. Now, you could still find Serious Growth 3. There's PDFs, and you can download free online. You can actually buy the book. The book is like $500 now because it's a collector's item. They're no longer published. But unless you got this, you ordered this system back in 1994. Matter of fact, September 7th, 1994, you couldn't get the free Secrets to Muscle Growth program that came with it. Now, Muscle Media 2000 was where we found this, me and my training partner, Donnie. And Muscle Media 2000, I would say, probably then was the best magazine out. They had the most non-bullshit information that you could find. They had Dan Duchaine frequently, and they were talking about all kinds of drugs. They had all kinds of different training programs and diet. They did use IIF-WM back then. They were like the first ones to do it, Bill Phillips and his brother Sean Phillips. And they were the place you went to for information if you couldn't get it at the gym. Nowadays, all the magazines are stock full of shit. I think, personally, Muscular Development is probably the best one out there for actual information. But I figured, me and Kari were doing some fall cleaning and moving some of the stuff around the rooms, and stuck between two books, I found the packet. I found the system. So what I'm going to do is share this with you guys right now. And I believe there are seven. There are 7 secrets to muscle growth, and also the bench press program that's in here, where you train your chest every day, 5 days a week. Okay? I know, you're like, well, it sounds crazy, but it works if you follow what it says to do. So let's start out, we'll get through a few of these today, and we'll do this in multiple, parts and videos. The first one is why almost everyone chooses the wrong exercise to get maximum growth for each body part. Okay? In a no-brainer way to choose. Now, basically what they're saying in this, okay, they run through a whole bunch of science with it and stuff as to why this is legit. But there are level 1 through 7 exercises. Level 7 being the one you want to stick the most to get the most out of it, each exercise. Level 1 being the one you want to stay away from the most. Level 1 is isolation exercises using variable resistance machines. Okay? Those are machines with cams, like Nautilus machines, Trotter machines, anything that's got the cam on it. Level 2, compound exercises using variable resistance machines. Okay, so it'd be like a bench press Nautilus machine. Level 3, isolation exercises with non-variable resistance machines that have no chains, cams, or gears to take off the stress. Okay, so they're talking about the Smith machine would be a level 3 exercise. Level 4, compound exercises with non-variable resistance machines. Pulleys are the best type of machine for MMA at this level. So level 4 is, like, let's say you're doing a chest press with a cable. Okay, not a fly, like a chest press. Compound movements with a cable. Level 5, isolation exercises with free weights. Okay, so you'd be doing like flies or, concentration curls or something like that. Isolation exercises. What was that? Was that level 5? That was level 5. Level 6, compound movements with free weights. Okay, so bench press, barbell row, etc. Level 7, so this is the one that if you want to get the most out of your exercises. Level 7, moving the body through space. Dips, pull-ups, weighted push-ups, close grip together chin-ups, which will also help biceps. So see anything moving through your body through space. And the reason being is they say basically neuromuscular activation is at its highest during those exercises. Let me adjust this fucking camera angle. Perfect. And at the same time, you're contracting your core, your pecs, your traps, your calves, your glutes. You're contracting everything when you do these exercises to be able to maintain your body in that position as it moves through space. So essentially, you're working your whole body, even if you're doing a chin-up for back or a push-up for chest. So basically, they're saying if you really want to, stimulate the maximum amount of muscle growth you can, level 7 is where you want it to be at. Now, someone like me who only trains with 3 sets per body part, what I would probably do is, let's say, let's take chest for instance, okay? If I wanted to stick to the level 7, I would do a weighted push-up, okay, with some kind of vest or a plate or somebody sitting on my back or something, 2 sets of a weighted push-up to failure, and then 1 set of dips to failure, leaning forward so that it puts more pressure on the pecs. So, that would be something that, how I would set up my routine. But you still can set up your routine through these other things. You just won't get the most out of it as you would if you were doing the level 7 exercises. Level 2, how to use recent scientific discovery of your body's natural 3-week ramping cycle. Now, Big Beyond Belief has 3-week ramps. So they go hyper-acceleration for 3 weeks, hyper-adaptation for 3 weeks. So they really push the pace, and they try to get towards overtraining, then they back off and they come down towards undertraining. And they stay in that optimal training zone. This one found that if you had the volume and the intensity that's in the program that they set up for you, 3 weeks is when you would want to change your routine. You would want to push very hard for 3 weeks, back off for 3 weeks. Push very hard for 3 weeks, back off for 3 weeks. Now, in the book, there's a level 4 training, I believe it is. The level 3 is instinctive training. And that's where I've been sitting at for a while. So I've noticed that it takes me longer than 3 weeks to overtrain, and sometimes longer than 3 weeks to recover, which means that my ramps no longer are 3 and 3. They are whatever my body tells me that they should be. So as you get, along further advanced in this stuff, you're going to notice that, things change. Your body adapts. You can't stick to the basics for the rest of your life. Things have to be altered and have to evolve into what you're doing to get to that next level. Let's see, we get the level 3. Why relying on full range of motion? And this goes back to 94. This, my partial ranges of motion are not new. Is actually robbing you of rapid growth. Okay? Using a little known target range will scientifically activate the deepest fibers of your muscles to cause sudden leaps of growth in your size and muscularity. Now, as I've said many times, when you are locking out an exercise and a compound movement, you are resting the muscle. You're putting the pressure on the joint is taking the weight, okay? If you restrict your range of motion to 3/4 of a partial so you never lock out, so you go all the way to the bottom, touch your chest, push 3/4 of the way up, you're going to stop that lockout where your shoulder joints and your wrists, elbows, and shoulders take that weight in the bench press, and it's going to keep it on the pec. If you go too low, it's been Muscle Meets Magnet is the book, MRI was done. If you go too low, it shows that the front delt actually activates more in the bottom of the movement of a bench press. So the actual part of the bench press that stimulates the pec the most is the mid-range. And they've proven that through the Muscle Meets Magnet and through people's chests growing better than anybody else's when they're doing this technique, that this works. Finding that range of motion works. Many of the pros train like that, but they, a lot of them don't even know why they train like that. They actually learn over time to feel where the muscle is, and I can pick up a 20-pound dumbbell and make that 20-pound dumbbell hurt so bad while I'm training it, and make it so intense by keeping it a certain range of motion, by squeezing a certain way, by restricting the range of motion, and at the same time going slower or faster in certain parts of the movements where the average person doesn't understand that. A beginner doesn't understand that. Even scientists don't fucking understand it unless they've been training for 20 years. Then a scientist would be like, oh, okay, now we have to study this because there's something else going on here. So be aware that, there's different ranges of motions, there's different intensities applied, there's all these different things that you can do to get faster growth. And I get picked on all the time because I put up my video and you'll see me doing like a maybe 3/4 range of motion or a half rep. And they're like, oh, you fucking idiot, full range. But I'm twice your size. Oh, you fucking take steroids. Lots of people take steroids and they're not my size and they're not as thick as me. You've been training a long time. Lots of people have been taking steroids and training a long time and they don't look like me. Pay attention. There's a lot of things that, basically you have to use logic, but at the same time, sometimes logic goes out the window to get this shit done. So those are the 3 we're going to cover today. We'll come back and hit the other ones. Let me see. We'll do a quick review of what the other ones are. The inside secret, the professionals that lets you feel your body explode with new raw power and size. That's secret number 4. Number 5, how to milk every single set to squeeze out the most important reps. Number 6, how often should you train each body part for maximum results in putting on mass? That's an interesting one. A lot of people ask me. That might be a whole video unto itself. And secret number 7, how to fool your fatigue and increase both your volume and intensity at the same time. So we get those 4 coming up. And as well as that bench press program, that's a 5-day bench press program, which I'm pretty sure you could actually plug in squats or deadlifts if you wanted to, and just follow the routine because, it's essentially putting the same amount of stress with the volume and intensity on your body. If you can recover from it, you should be able to gain just as much on your squat or your deadlift. biosretraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biosretraining.com is the blog, and where secrets of the old school bodybuilder bicep, we're out.